Hi guys, you all are welcome to my channel. My name is Tessie and today we are going to be recreating this style. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So for this dress, I'll be making use of 3.5 yards of fabric. So what we'll be doing is cutting out the back first before we move to the front. So for the back, I folded my fabric into two, as you can see. So what I will do next is to chalk 2 inches for my zip allowance. I'll be adding zip at the back of the dress. So what I did was to chalk 2 inches all the way down. So after chalking the 2 inches, I'm just going to connect it into a straight line. So you need your basic bodice pattern for this tutorial. So I've drafted out my basic bodice pattern. So I'm just going to place it after the zip allowance line. So go ahead, place your pattern after the zip allowance line. As you can see, I placed it after the zip allowance line. So I'm just going to use my pin to hold it down. The reason why I'm using a pattern for this is because this dress has no half length. So it's a cut together. So from the waist, I'll come down to my hip line. So from the waistline, my hip line is 9 inches. I chalked it and connected it into a straight line, as you can see. So at the hip line, I'll be placing my hip measurement divided by 4. So the hip divided by 4 is 10 inches. So I chalked 10 inches and I'm going to be adding 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So from my half length, that's my waistline, I'll connect to the hip line. After connecting from the waist to the hip, I'm going to be connecting from the hip all the way down to the gown length. This is not a pencil dress. It has like an A-line effect. So what I'll do is check what I have around the hip area. So whatever I have there, I'll place it at the down part. So since it's an A-line dress, so you can add 2 or 3 inches more to it. Or you could probably add 4 inches. So I added 3.5 inches for mine. So from this hip line, I'll connect to that line. So guys, after cutting out the back, we are going to be working on the front. So for the front, I'm just going to slash this open. So I'll slash it, but I won't get to the end of the pattern. So just watch what I'm doing. So guys, after slashing, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I didn't get to the end. So I folded my fabric into two for the front, and I'm just going to place my pattern paper on my fabric. Then I'll place it and then open up this area. So it depends on how full you want it to be. The more you open it, the more the cowl effect drops. So for me, I'm just going to be working with 9 inches. So it depends on how full you want it to be. So 9 inches is perfect for me. So you can see I've opened it to 9 inches. I'm just going to pin it down to hold it in place. So guys, what I'll do next is to make a straight line from this point all the way down here and then connect to the shoulder line. So just watch what I'm doing. So guys, I have a detailed video on how to make a cowl neck top, so you can watch that video for clearer understanding. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, I'm just going to make the lines visible. So just make it a straight line and then connect it to the shoulder line, just like this. Then you can connect the armhole as well. So guys, after doing that, what we'll be doing next is at the half length, that's at the waistline, I'll come down to my hip line. So from the waist to my hip is 9 inches. So I'll chalk 9 inches and then connect it into a straight line. What I'll do next is to place my hip measurement divided by 4. The hip divided by 4 is 10. I'll be adding extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So from the waist, I'll connect to the hip line. So whatever I have at the hip line, I'll place it at the down part of the dress as well. So whatever you have here, just place it at the down part. Here is 12 inches. I'm just going to place 12 inches here. Like I said initially, it's an A-line dress. So whatever we added at the back, we're going to add it in the front as well. So I added 3.5 inches extra. So I'll chalk 3.5 inches at this point, and then from the hip, I'll connect to that line. make sure you give it an A-line effect. So we're good to go. So guys, after cutting out my fabric, this is what it looks like. I'll go ahead now to take out my pin. And after taking out my pin, I'll open it up and show you guys what it looks like. So this is what it's going to look like. So quickly, we're going to cut out a facing for it. I folded my fabric into two and then place my front on the facing. So I'll cut out the exact thing I have. My facing is stopping somewhere around the armhole. That's after the armhole. I'll go ahead now to cut out my facing. As you can see, so guys, after cutting out the facing, this is what it looks like. As you can see, so what we'll be doing next is adding the fabric and the facing together. So I'll just open up my fabric, take out the pins, and then place my fabric and my facing right side facing each other. And then I'm going to be stitching the top part. I'm not stitching the shoulder area, I'm just stitching only the top parts. I'll stitch all the way down here. So guys, for the back as well, I've gone ahead to cut out the facing for the back. So I'm just going to open it up and then attach my facing to it, right side facing each other. I'll do the same thing for this other part and then stitch using 1/2 inch all the way down here. So guys, after joining the back facing, this is what it looks like. I've gone ahead to close my zip allowance area for now. So I'll just open it up this way and we're going to be joining the front and the back together. So I'll place the front and the back together, right side facing each other. So for the front, just place it this way and take the shoulder part of the front, place it at the shoulder part of the back this way. And you repeat same thing for this other part, place the shoulder on the shoulder and then arrange your fabric together. So guys, just place them this way. You can see the cowl effect already. So I'm going to use my pin to hold them together. So I'll quickly use my pin to hold them together. So guys, after holding them together, what we'll be doing next is stitching the shoulder area using 1/2 inch all the way down here and repeat same thing here, and then I'll go ahead to shape my dress. So guys, for the sleeve, I folded my fabric into two and folded it again, that's into four. We're going to be cutting for the two sleeve. So I used my free hand to curve out my armhole, then I used my tape to cross check if I was on the right track. What I'll do is place my round sleeve measurement and then connect it to the armhole line, and from the down part, that's I came up to like 6 inches. From that point, I'm just going to give it like an A-line effect. So it depends on how wide you want yours to be. So after doing that, I'll go ahead now to cut out my fabric. So guys, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what we'll be doing next is attaching the sleeve on the dress. So I'll go ahead now to attach my sleeves. So guys, after attaching the sleeve, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what we'll be doing next is adding our zipper to it. I am using an invisible zip. I'll add it and show us the end result. So guys, this is the final result. This is what it looks like. I'm really liking the fabric. It really came out lovely. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video. If you're yet to like the video, kindly do that right now. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on TikTok, Instagram at Sowitez. I'll see you guys in my next class. For now, bye.